All right, let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the webinar about wildlife conservation tracking with LPWAN technology. My name is Fabian. I'm the product manager of akenza and also the moderator of this webinar. With me today is Lukas Schefer from Volunteering Africa. Lukas is actually a project manager working for a global building automation company, but during his holidays, he is working as a volunteering ranger in a private game reserve. And therefore, he has founded a few years ago the nonprofit company Volunteering Africa and also executed such project that we present today together with akenza within his Volunteering Africa company. Let's have a look on the agenda. We're going to have a closer look on the project and its requirements. Then we're going to see the solution that was built with akenza. And last but not least, the results and outlook of the project. At the very end, we're going to have a Q&A session. So therefore, drop on all the questions you have into the chat here on Zoom. We have enough time to answer all your individual questions. So now I'm really happy to hand over to Lukas and to find more about your executed project. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. And thanks a lot, Fabian, for the introduction. I'd like to tell you something about the project. This project is located at a private game reserve in South Africa, in the Limpopo area, where are so many game reserves, and the most popular for sure is the Kruger National Park. You can see on the map on the right side, in the upper map, you see the map from South Africa, and the red area is the Limpopo area, where the game reserve is located. And the other map is the Limpopo area, and there you can see all the green areas are national or game parks or green reserve. This project is located in a private game reserve. That means that isn't a national park and get money from the government. The land is private owned, and the only income is from private sector and from tourism. The game reserve was found in 1994. Since then, the park is growing with more than 20,000 hectares by today. Before 1994, it was farmland, and also mines were in this area scattered. It's a big 5 game reserve. That means they have all the big 5 animals, what the tourists want to see. But that is not really true. The big 5, they are coming from the past. That will be the thing. Meaning is that are the 5 most dangerous animals to hunt. But for sure, that's now the animal what the tourists want to see. That is the elephant, the lions, leopard, rhinos, and buffaloes. But for sure, there are so many other interesting species there. Baboon, monkeys, different types of antelope, giraffes, zebras, birds, hippos, crocodiles, hyena, and so on. This area is a classic savanna biome. That means that we have up to 40 degrees Celsius during summer and sometimes in winter frost. And also what is important for the savanna biome is less of rain. So in this area, we have around 500 mil of rain per year. This means we don't really have the trees. We have more bushes and shrubs. For sure, in the area where we have rivers or zip lines, we have trees, but normally in the most of the area, more the smaller one. So the park welcomes around 1,000 tourists per year. We have 200 employees, 20 field rangers, and 12 anti-poaching rangers. But it's also always the researchers from all over the world who visit the park for their research studies. What are the challenges? Why we start this project? The main challenge is poaching. The fight against is quite challenging as it is a huge area with a very little of infrastructure, less money, and with a lot of corruption ongoing in this area. Animals need to be protected from poaching. That means not only protecting elephant and rhinos, the poacher poach from the small ant-eating pangolin over antelope to up to the elephants. The poachers poach for trophies, such as ivory, rhino horn, and fur, but also generally for bushmeat. Unfortunately, poaching is increasing since the coronavirus arrived in South Africa last year. This during the fact that the numbers of the tourists has decreased and therefore the people traffic in the game reserves dropped. Means poachers have more chances to poach. South Africa lost in the last 10 years around 800 rhinos per year during poaching. You see on the chart the yellow bars, what is the number of the rhinos they get poached in South Africa. You see that it's increasing from 2010 until 2015, and then it's decreased. And now the worst thing is it starts to increase again. And that is not the increase in 2010 because they wasn't poaching before. They poach other things, so like more like elephant. But then rhinos poaching was more interesting because they get more money. And around 2015, a lot of anti-poaching teams are settled down and it goes better. And the bad thing is, if we know that only around 5,000 black and 20,000 white rhinos are left in the world, we can see the upcoming disaster. The most important thing to protect animals from poaching is to know where the animals are and where the poachers are located. This allows immediate action to be taken from the rangers. The landscape is rough and there are not many roads. You can see on the right picture, I took the picture from a hill. You see bushes and shrubs until the horizon, and there are not many trails and roads in this area. The actual technical equipment is old-fashioned and expensive to maintenance. Like you know it from the documentaries, there is a radio transmitter which sending a beep signal, and that radio with an antenna to locate this beep. You can see a picture of a friend of mine who using this telemetry antenna. So the direction and the loudness of the beep helps us to find the animal. There isn't really an infrastructure like power or cell phone signal which cover this area. At leastly, the park has also limited of resources of money. The requirements. There wasn't really requirements when we start this project. It was only that we know that we have to do something. Now the requirements from the park management for the new tracking solution are more or less that the solution should be replace the old technology by being more reliable, cost-effective, and accurate when it's coming to locate management. Also, the battery lifetime has to be at least 4 years duration. The old one, normally they say they hold 2 years before they die, but normally they only survive 1 or 1.5 years. And that is really sad because you have to know that we have to anesthetic the animal to install the devices on the body from the animal. And there are so much that the park management is interesting to know. Does the numbers of the species are increasing or decreasing? Do we need more herbivores or carnivores to keep the balance in the park? Now, with the IoT data, we knew that we would be able to answer such questions. Now I came to the solution. We have involved different technologies, but have decide to go with LoRaWAN. There are other techniques which we tested, such as radio transmitter and cellular technologies. But all of them have the same challenge. They need a lot of energy to keep it online over several years. With LoRaWAN, we have found the perfect technology for long signal range, low power devices, and low cost connectivity. LoRaWAN also allows us to build up our own network. And that is really interesting if you know that a device needs less energy when the signal is better. So that means when we can build up a really strong network, we can make that device live longer with the same amount of battery. And that is really important for us. Other big benefit is the security for both the device and the network, which is really important for us. For the installation setup, we use around 12 gateways. Most of them are solar powered, because most of the good spots for the gateways are on a hill far away from houses or electricity. You can see on the right side the picture of our first gateway, which we mounted at the main camp. Because the main camp is in a good position, really high altitude, and we have their power. You also can see there the other pictures from devices and colors that we built. Once the coverage will be settled, different use cases on the network were executed. Collars for animals, tracking devices for cars and peoples, and control devices for fences and gates, and switches to turn on and off water pumps. Which all use cases, we can use the new technology to limit the time to find animals, to travel, to control gates and pumps, but also to control people for their own safety from wild animals, support them for their work processes. In the future, the use cases for the park management are endless. We started with animal and car and people monitoring, but also we built up a data collection process to a digital modern solution, which helps us to collect data directly in the field, on a phone, or in a ranger office on a computer. The solution with akenza. The entire IoT stack is built on an open standard with a framework of different software and application, as akenza IoT platform as the main piece. You can see on this slide on the left the devices from Everyway and Digital Matter send the information via gateways to the LoRaWAN network server, and from there further to the akenza platform. From akenza, data get processed further via webhook directly to EarthRanger. EarthRanger is used for data visualization and geofencing, and for the manual entire data from rangers. Further, akenza, I use that for integrate an external app developed to trigger downlinks via mobile. For this, I have used the pre-built HTTP device connector. But why is akenza platform so useful for me? I can manage all devices on a platform in an asset inventory, because every case needs different devices and also different connectivities. As an example here, I have used LoRaWAN for the devices and the different devices in the field, and the HTTP for the external app. I can easily manage multiple users having different access rights on the platform. I have the option with the API to bring the GPS and time data directly to EarthRanger, where we can see it live and can make heat maps and geofencing. I have used akenza as a database with all the data collected by the devices in the field. This allows to have access to the history data for visualization. I can use the rule engine for different condition and notification monitoring, but also for triggering devices via downlink. Also, I can use my own app to send GPS requests directly to the LoRaWAN devices and so extend the battery lifetime drastically. So many useful tools that helps me to build up a customized park management, which is open for all kind of devices and for different animal and different use cases. Now it be more or less at the end. I will bring all the information a little bit closer together in my result and also want to show you an outlook what we will do in this project in the future. The setup of the LoRaWAN technology has proved that is the perfect match for such an application and area. You can build up your own network in an area with low infrastructure and the costs are not too high. We tested the signal strengths to compare the coverage with the simulation that we made. They are really similar. The park owners are amazed about the location accuracy and the amount of data that we can get. We started to combine the technology with the knowledge of the ranger and the power of the tracking dogs, so we will find the best solution. With the akenza platform, we have the possibility to easily manage multiple devices and also monitor logs for debugging. It gives us a lot of information and opportunity to optimize the entire IoT stack. We have with akenza a powerful tool for the techies, and the front end from Earth Ranger is perfect for the local users. You can see on the right a picture from a heat map from a tracking device. You can see there where the animal was walking. And this area where there is more bright green, that is the area where the animal was longer in an area or more often. Now I come into the outlook. What are the plans for this project? We continue growing this network, but it is Africa, most of the things going slow. We started to implement the heavyweight tracker into smaller colors, which can survive on an animal for around 3 to 4 years. If we only take GPS data if we need it. The first generation was too big and too heavy. And we will fit digital meter devices into as much cars as we can to keep them under control for their safety. To identify the most important cases and that which save the most of the money, that is the plan for the future. And so we hope that we can find more people which support us with knowledge, material, and money, so we can help the rangers to protect the animal and the nature more effective. I hope I have gave a further insight about our project. I hope now to answer, or I'm happy to answer your question now in the Q&A session. Thanks a lot. And now I will give over to Fabian.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lukas, for those insights. Really impressive what you have built in quite a short time in Africa with the akenza platform. We really hope you enjoyed it. You learned a bit from the project from Lukas. And yeah, let's try out akenza itself. Feel free to join our 30-day free trial. You can register yourself on app.akenza.io and yeah, try the platform for free for 1 month. and make the most out of it. And we are really happy then to support you on your next IoT project. And who knows, maybe also in the wildlife. So thank you very much, Lukas. And
Yep.
to everyone, have a really good afternoon and see you next time. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.